Hi, and welcome to the video walkthrough for the Boca Property Sheet. When you get the link, you'll be directed to this page and you just want to hit Use Template to bring the template into your own Canva account. And once it's open, you just want to head over to File and make a copy, and you want to do this just so that you always have the master file on hand in case you make a few mistakes and you're not quite sure how to get back to that original design. You'll always have it in your home section of Canva. So once you've done that, you're good to upload your photos. You upload an image or video in this tab and then hitting upload, and there you can find your listing photos, and when they're uploaded it will look like this. And then you can go ahead and start dragging and dropping your own photos into the template, or you can choose to make a few changes. So what I'm going to do is show you both. So if you want to change the photos, you make sure that the box is highlighted. You select your own listing photo and you just hover it over the box until it pops into place. So you can do that with any of your photos. Just make sure you're choosing the right box and it will pop into place. If you want to make some changes, you can either choose to drag the box over to fill up the entire screen so you only have one image, or you can play around with these boxes to add more. So I could add a third image here, or third and fourth, or just choose to delete this box altogether and bring this over to cover the whole front. So we have created these to be drag and drop templates, so you can easily just pop your own photos into place, change the information, and you're good to go. But if you do want to make some changes, either to match your brand or just because you don't like these colors, you can do that as well. Just please keep in mind that we have made adjustments to some of these. If you see a transparency over this box, it will be hard to replicate if you decide to delete the box completely and bring in your own shapes. So here's what I would suggest you do. So if you don't like the color of this, you can head over to Effects, and then with Color Mix, this is the easiest way to change these shape colors, is you can just choose a color that best represents your brand, and then you can go over to Adjust and start adjusting the contrast, the saturation, tint. You can really have fun with this and change the color completely if you'd like. So for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm just going to go right back to the beginning and leave the color as is. Okay, and then of course you put your own listing information here. Here's a little tip. This is something that we've been seeing is a problem, and I just want to make sure that you have this as an option. If your property address is something like highlights, let's just say this was the name of your street. It's not even spelled right. Let me just take this, hold on. Highlights. So let's say that this was the name of your street. It's not fitting, so you can either drag the box to make it fit, but again, it's really close to the edge and you have to be careful of that so that it doesn't get cut off during print. What I would do is I would highlight this entire box and then head over to the spacing tab and just adjust the spacing either in between the letters, so letter means in between letters, or the line height as well. So if you just need more room, these are options without having to change the size of the text. You do have that option as well. So right now this is 59, you might want to try to bring it down to 40 and see how that looks. To me, I feel like it loses that impressive sizing if you bring it down too small. So I'm just going to bring it up to, let's say, 45, maybe even bring it back up to 50, and play around with the spacing instead. So that is an option for you. And you can also move the space around. So you can make it in the center if it doesn't work well, if you feel like it's not looking, if it's not balanced, that's the word. So once you're done with the first page, you can head over to the second and do the same thing. Plug and play, so bring in your own listing photos, drag and drop them. Do it like that. Just hover it over and it will literally just grab the image. Now here's something else to consider. When you have dragged the image over and popped it into place, if you don't like the positioning of the image in the frame, double click that frame and you can move around the positioning of the image within the frame. So I'm going to say, let's just show that. Oh, I don't want that plug there. It's on this side. Something like that, just to show an intriguing corner of the room. Again, you can use the same tips that I showed you in the first one, in the first page here. Just adjust the spacing or the size of the font itself. And here is where things get a little bit fun. These shapes have had adjustments placed upon them, so when you are, if you want to bring in a new shape color, you have all the shapes here available in your folder, in your zip file. You can import them into Canva, so upload them here, but you won't be able to change the image unless you head over to Effects, Color Mix, or Adjust, and then adjust the tint and play around with that until you get the right shade that you're looking for. If you do import a shape, if you just hover it over the box, that shape will adopt any characteristic that we've placed on it. So if you like the effect, if you like this transparency, if you like the way that it looks, then I would suggest you don't delete this box. You just bring your own shape over until it pops into place, and that way any adjustments that have been made to the box itself will remain. So once you're satisfied with that, you can also delete it completely if you think it's distracting or it's not what you wanted. Same with the shape here. We've made some adjustments. If you don't like it, you can delete it. Change your photos here, and of course this has 3 different colors. So if you want to keep the 3 different colors but you want to change them, you have to highlight each individual word and then head over to the color box and change them to whatever colors you'd like. And that way you still have 3 different colors, or you can choose to highlight the entire box and change it to whatever color you'd like. Here is where your property description would go, and this is where some people run into problems because they're trying to fit their entire property description and they have trouble fitting it in. So again, if you head over to spacing and you adjust the spacing, you can really give yourself as much or as little space as you need. So if you have a short property description, you might want to make the spacing between the letters longer. If you have a longer property description, you can minimize the spacing, and then everything will fit into this box. Now, here is where you're going to put your headshot. And if you have a headshot that has a background, we do have a tutorial on the tutorials page, 4thstreetcreative.com/tutorials, that will show you how to remove the background of an image. So if you have a headshot like this one and you want to remove the image of that headshot, you can just head over to the tutorial section and we can show you how to do that for free online. If you already have your headshot that doesn't have a background, then you can just drag it into the box, and if it's facing the wrong way, you can always head over to flip horizontal, and then adjust it. Okay, and the reason why you want to drag your photo into place rather than deleting this box completely is, again, because we have made some adjustments onto this box to have that effect, to have that transparency, to make him look like he's kind of sitting over the boxes and still being able to see those colors behind him. We had to make quite a few adjustments to this box. So if you delete the box, those adjustments go with it. So let me just show you. If I delete the box and bring this guy over, and you might prefer this. This might be something that you prefer. You might not want that effect, and that's totally fine, and this is how you'd get rid of the effect. You just delete the box that has all the adjustments on it, bring in your own photo, and then you can adjust the size by grabbing the corner and adjusting the size that way. And then you have that. Change the name. Again, if your name is longer, spacing, and you can adjust the lettering or the font size itself. And of course this information as well. So this information is 10. This is the smallest font that I would recommend for printing. If you want to get rid of the brokerage name, you can actually increase this font size. So this is an option for you. Increase the font size, and then you can bring in your own real estate logo, your brokerage logo. And everything still fits. Shrink that just a bit. There you go. That's how you would manipulate that. Now when you're done and you're happy with everything, show print bleed, file, and then show print bleed. And this will show you where the printer is going to cut. This dotted line is where the printer will cut your file. So make sure that all of your images bleed out to past the dotted line. So this one's not bleeding out past the dotted line, so I'm just going to lift that up. And everything looks good. So now I'm going to head over to download. Make sure that PDF print is selected. Crop marks and bleed only if you're printing with a professional printer. If you're printing at home, you do not need to check this box. Only if you're printing with a professional printer. Then download. And then this is what you want it to look like. So you want it to have these crop marks for the printer, and something to look for is to make sure that the type isn't too close to the cut line. So I've actually positioned everything already in the template so to be print ready, but if you might have made a mistake and just dropped the copy down a bit, and if that's the case, here's where you want to check for it. You just want to make sure that there's about 1/4 of an inch between this line here and any text, so or anything that you don't want cut off. So everything looks great. If your file looks like this, then you're ready to go. I hope that was helpful, and if you need any more help, please feel free to head over to 4thstreetcreative.com/tutorials, and happy designing.